What is going on, everyone, and welcome to r/EntitledParents. Now, in today's first story, an entitled idiot doesn't believe that Tourette syndrome exists. He actually believes that OP is making it all up. Entitled guy tries to exercise the Tourette out of me and won't take no for an answer. So, for context, I have Tourette syndrome. My most common at work is a meow-like squeak. Now, something important to note about Tourette's is if you mimic someone's tics, or you tick yourself, or do something tick-like, you can force them to tick and it can get very bad. Tourette's isn't all that cute if you actually know about it. Forcing too many ticks can result in ticking so much you stop breathing and pass out. You can get what I call stuck ticks, where you can't stop doing one tick for an extended period of time, or the worst case scenario, triggering a tick attack, which can, and for me it does, look like a grand mal seizure that can last up to 4 hours. I live in Ohio, so there are a lot of Christians, and most people don't understand my tics. And since I work as a cashier and see hundreds of people every day, I get people offering to pray for me at least once a week. It's not all that unusual. I always say yes, and then they go home and I assume add me into their nightly prayers. I don't mind it, and if it's what they feel they need to do, who am I to stop them? I try my best to keep my verbal tics to sounds, not words at work, which is difficult, but I pull it off. And if I can't, I cover my mouth to muffle some really bad or some just not family-friendly things I say. I'm also non-confrontational to a fault. People scare me, so I actually act like a doormat. Okay, now to the story. It started off as a pretty standard interaction. A guy came up to my register and I asked him to put his mask on. He complied and asked what the noise was. So I told him I have Tourette's, and he looked weirdly gleeful and asked if he could pray for me, so I said yes. And this is where it got weird. Apparently, his religion is the one where you twitch and shout in tongues because Jesus is possessing you. He started twitching and trying to make me copy him, saying a bunch of weird stuff, like promising my soul in exchange for Jesus to possess me and free me from the demons who were inhabiting my body. At this point, I was really uncomfortable, and one of the kids I work with, he's a tall, big-looking dude, came over and stood there. He didn't know what to do, but I appreciate the solidarity and that he was there in case it got worse. The guy kept doing this twitch stomp thing with his whole body that forced me to do it, and that made him really excited. But he wouldn't let me claim I was saying the words in my head because you might really be thinking that you don't accept Jesus, and you need to accept him in order for him to possess you and get rid of the demons inside of you. At this point, I was having a lot of trouble standing upright, and I was scared. I looked around and saw my manager, who is a mama bear, and all the cashiers are her ducklings. I couldn't catch her eye, so behind my back, I started desperately trying to wave her over. She came over, guns blazing, seeing what was happening, and told me to go sit down, behind the service desk. Basically, hide, and also that's where I go when I'm gonna have a tick attack, and I could barely stand because of this dude. And the guy flipped his mind, getting mad and yelling at her about how she stopped Jesus and how he is supposed to exorcise my demons. When she stopped Jesus, you can't get in the way of Jesus. And she responded by firmly and loudly saying I was gonna have a seizure, a simplified way of saying that I was gonna have a tick attack, and he was still flipping his head and trying to insist I check out his items, and again that you can't stop Jesus. She pointed to a register far away from mine and told him he could check out there. After checking out, he was shooed out of the store, and my tics were bad. He came back a few minutes later, saying he was in town for a witch convention and I needed to let him exorcise the demons out of me. I was twitching like crazy and scared of this guy. My two managers stood in between me and the guy and told him to leave. He asked if I wanted him to leave, and I meekly said, yes, please, and eventually he got shooed out of the store and didn't come back. But the damage was done. I got my arms stuck in a tick and could barely use them for 45 minutes. And eventually they switched ticks and I couldn't use them for another 2 hours. We honestly thought we were going to have to abandon my car and a co-worker was going to drive me home. Eventually, I figured out how to teach my managers how to do a reset on me. Basically forcing me to do ticks that are really hardwired into my brain to get me unstuck. And I was able to use my hands again, instead of swinging them like a skier. But this guy gave me a stomping tick, so I had to wait in my car for another 45 minutes before I could drive without stomping the gas pedal. Now I'm home, I'm exhausted, irritated, and in pain because he wanted to exercise the Tourette's out of me. Wow, that sounds like one of the worst possible experiences to go through. To be honest, I didn't know that Tourette's could be that bad. I'm not gonna lie, I think especially in today's age, people think that Tourette's is quite a fun thing. I know it's obviously not a great thing to have, but people do tend to see the funny side in Tourette's. Whereas this story has, confirmed to me that, yeah, Tourette's is a horrible, horrible thing to have to live with, even if there can be funny moments, I guess. Imagine this, like someone coming and saying, I'm going to exercise your demons. Like, have they not ever heard of Tourette's syndrome before? Maybe not. So mad, though. I mean, at least your managers kind of helped you in the situation by, getting involved and not leaving you to deal with it solely on your own. But still, having to deal with that for 2 hours afterwards, I didn't even know that, tics could be forced about that. I need to honestly educate myself more because I fall into that category of people that thought that Tourette's, although serious, was, quite a funny thing at times. Clearly, though, it can be just as horrible as it can be funny. Probably, way worse, in fact. Now moving on to our next post. We all want to go home, Karen. This happened about 2 hours ago. I was there, but not a direct participant. A friend took me grocery shopping. My vehicle isn't running at the moment. I struggle to shop because all the motorized carts are taken and I need way more groceries than the motorized carts can carry. I have to lean on my standard cart for support as I shop. This means that by the time I have done all the bending, lifting, and walking, my back and hip are on fire. I have degenerative disc disease, by the way. I shop and get in the checkout line behind a woman that separated her shopping slowly into 3 separate transactions. I'm patient as just standing still gives my back a little bit of rest. I let my friend, who's waiting in the car, know that I'm on my way out. She tells me that I need to hurry because the weather is getting bad and it's starting to rain heavily. It took about 20 minutes to get through checkout and start out the door, and this is where the breakdown happens. I'm standing in another line that's about 8 people long, waiting to exit the store. The store has the entrance and exit separated with barricades consisting of poles with canvas ribbon stretched between them to help guide people through the correct doors and keep people apart. My back hurts, so I'm a little annoyed at the delay getting out. All I want to do at this point is sit down. I can hear a quarrel going on from the front of the line, so I step to the side to get a look. There I see Karen, 50 to 55 years old, blonde ponytail sticking out of a baseball cap and sitting just outside the exit doors, where there is an overhang or awning on a motorized car that's parked sideways. She has the entire double door exit completely blocked off. No one behind her can get out, creating a traffic jam of shopping carts. One of the impatient customers say, "Mom, can you please move so we can get out?" "I'm not moving until my ride gets here. It's raining." "Mom, we are all trying to get out here before the weather gets any worse." Then one of the workers says, "Mom, you're going to have to move." "No, I'll get wet. My ride is coming. We'll load my shopping and get out of your way." "Lady, move." Karen turns in her seat and glares daggers at the people. There are at least 6 more people now behind me waiting to exit. The woman behind me asks if I know what the holdup is, and I explain what I think is going on. The woman rolls her eyes and says, "There's always one in every crowd." The worker again says, "Mom, if you don't move, I'll have to call the police to move you." "I'm not going anywhere. I called my husband and he is coming to get me. I'm not getting out in the rain and getting sick. Just go around me." The impatient customers again say, "We can't get our shopping carts around you." Karen gives everyone a one-finger salute and continues to sit on her cart, while people still inside the store are complaining, and a few at the front of the line are shouting at the woman now to move, as she ignores them. The worker finally decides that he's had enough and radios customer service to call the police. He disengages one of the barricade straps and starts ushering people to exit through the entrance door. I make it outside and head to my friend's car in the pouring rain. We get everything loaded in and see that the police have shown up. An officer was talking to Karen. I see her shake her head no and fold her arms over her chest. Then I see the officer grab the handle of her cart and move it out of the doorway and into the downpour. I have no idea what happened after that, as I was on my way home to get out of my wet clothes and put this on Reddit. Jesus, what a horrible woman. I mean, why would you do something like that? Everyone's going to have to get wet. The rain isn't going to stop. You can't just hold up the whole line for 20 minutes while your husband comes to pick you up. That is just so selfish. It's ridiculous. And also saying, yeah, go round me. Obviously, they can't go around you. I mean, first of all, they can't fit around you because you're probably so fat. No, that's not the reason. Because your trolley is there and they can't get their carts round you. But secondly, it's the whole thing about, social distancing. You don't want to get within a meter of someone or 2 meters, to be fair. That would be better. So obviously they can't get around you safely. And to be honest, if you were acting like this concerning, leaving a store, I probably would, consider that maybe you've been doing some things that are against coronavirus protocol as well. So I would not want to be within 2 meters of you. That is for 100% for sure. So no, I'm not going to walk around you when I can't fit. And you're just literally holding everyone up who's got stuff to do. Like, so selfish. What a crazy woman. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of r/EntitledParents. I really hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, drop a like on this video, comment your thoughts on these stories down below, and also watch them all right away. If you are new to the channel, make sure you are subscribed. And if you want some lovely merch for Christmas, then that is down here as well. All right, peace, guys. See you later with a brand new upload.